Welcome, Keto Rockstars, to tonight's Sunday Night Live. Hope everybody's doing good. Tonight we have our beloved friend and fellow keto journey, Cindy Demanche. Cindy, thank you for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm just great. I'm tired, but I'm great. I'm good.
So,
It's
if you
been a
don't
busy week.
mind, I'd like to say hi to a few people. Also, I have posted Cindy's channel. It's pinned to the top, and I can't dual stream to her channel, but I'm going to send her the video so she can upload it when we're done. So if you would like to give her some views, you can go over to her channel later and watch that. Let's say hi to some people. Carrie is in the house.
Fully in the
Evelyn says,
boat.
yay. Two of my most favorite people. Thank you,
Hello,
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Let's see. Let me get Lynn 22 Cat is in the house, and she is making Southern Keto Victor's newest pumpkin dessert. Ooh,
Oh,
do tell. That sounds delicious. Let's see. Man, the chat is already flying.
Victor has some great recipes for sure.
Uh, Hold on, I clicked the wrong one. Holly, low carb spin. Karen at low
Hey,
carb spin is in
Karen.
the house. Welcome, Karen. Holly Springer is here. Welcome.
Hey, Holly.
Okay, it wouldn't be. Oh, he got a new modem from Spectrum. I thought this was a joke, but he's got Carrie has better internet, so that's good.
Mhm.
All right, Brian Fly Fisherman Dish is here. Welcome,
Hey,
Brian.
Brian.
Let's see here.
Howdy,
Scrolling
howdy.
through. I think you know who this person is.
I
This
don't
is
know. I have no
Dale
idea who that is.
38. Who's who's Dale 38S? I think that's Cindy's husband, Brian.
Some weirdo.
Let's see. The weirdo, the guinea pig. Oh, look, Nancy Tanner. Hi,
Hey,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Welcome. Peter, Papa Carnivore is here. Welcome,
Hello,
Peter.
Peter.
Thank you for joining us. Let's see, Sean Bradley's in the house. Welcome, Sean.
Y'all didn't have to wait for
Dawn,
me.
Dawn is here. Dawn Schonger, thank you for joining us.
Hello, Don.
Let's see. Andy, our good friend Andy, my lady Laugh a Lot is here. Welcome, Andy.
Hey, Andy and Susan.
Aw. Yep, Andy and Susan. Lynn says, look at those wonderful, beautiful ladies. We try. Let's see. Okay. I said hi to Lynn. Oh, our good friend Sherry, Nevada Pup is in the house. Welcome, Sherry. Thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Sandy
Sharon.
Blythe is here. Sandy's
Sherry's
here.
making meatloaf.
Yum. I'd love to hear. Oh, somebody's putting. Okay, so Rick must have just shown up because iguanas and ducks just showed up on the screen.
Hey,
So we
Sam.
have Charlie,
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie Darth Carnivore. Yep, there is Rick Charger Mopar Rick. Welcome,
Thank you,
quack
Rick.
quack.
No.
Uh, okay, here is our joke from Carrie. You can make a call in the jungle with two cans and some string. He's always got great jokes. Thank you.
Always.
Okay. I think that's I think that's everybody. So a couple of housekeeping items before we get into the knit and grit of Cindy's story. Carnivore Avenger contest. You have a week to submit to me your facial photo, and what you want your Carnivore Avenger name to be. Send it to Keto Rockstars 21 at gmail.com. Uh, you have to do it before 11 a.m. Saturday, 8:30. The drawing will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Saturday, 8:30. No live stream on Sunday because my Notre Dame Fighting Irish are playing, so I will not be going live during that game. Um, and then, as you may have all seen in the chat, I am now a Keto Chow Salty affiliate. Woohoo! So, I'm going to talk about that for just a second. I do want to say, since I went keto 7 years ago, the first product that I bought were these magnesium drops or these electrolyte drops. And Cindy also sent me some. Now, this is not the current logo. So these are old. I haven't received my new ones yet. They're on their way. So what I'm going to do instead is show you the equivalent of these. And if you are just starting keto or carnivore, you are probably going to want to get some sort of electrolyte drops, and I highly recommend the Keto Chow brand. Hopefully you can see this now. The ones that they have now look like this. They say salty on them. The equivalent to these are the hydrate formula. And they have actually increased the amount of salt, potassium, and magnesium in here. So check these out. I have posted my affiliate link in the description of the stream and also in the chat. Cindy also has an affiliate link too. So if you'd rather support her, you can feel free to go to her channel and click on her affiliate link. But this is just another way for me to continue down my keto carnivore journey. I also in the past have made uh, ice cream for my keto chow. And I'm going to feature this flavor, which is one of my favorites. It is salted caramel. And we'll talk a little bit more about keto chow here in a little bit, but I really would like to focus on Cindy because this is all about her. So, Cindy, tell
Yes,
us
ma'am.
about your keto. Tell us about how you started your ketogenic journey. Let's talk about that.
Well, in 2020, when everybody is shut down and everything else, my sister actually researched different diets because her daughter was diagnosed with fatty liver disease. And she found keto after she went through a bunch of different ones and just the research for them. And she told her daughter, she said, "You do this, I'll do it with you." And her daughter agreed. Well, we have a sister chat going on between Deb, myself, and our two other sisters. And for 3 months, I got little quips, keto, Dr. Berry videos, everything for 3 solid months on the sister chat. Well, I looked at my husband. I said, "I'm just going to do it. I'm good. Just going to do it. I'm just going to start and see what's up and all that. If nothing else, just to shut her up because it was continuous." So in September, late September 2020, I started keto, weighing probably real close to 300 pounds. I didn't feel bad. I I was on blood pressure medicine, but that's the only medication I was on. Um, and I was 62 when I started. And then probably within 3 months, my A1C was 5.8 when I first got it checked. And I had already started keto. I was like a couple weeks in. I had lost 20 pounds and went to the doctor. We're discussing the blood work. My lipid panel's always been okay. It's like for the most part, I've been pretty healthy, just overweight and arthritis that I don't have anymore. But it was crazy because the weight just started coming off, and I'm just eating, and and we were in a household of my kids lived with us and our grandkids. And when I started keto, there were 7 people in the house, and I did all the cooking. I was the only one at the time doing keto. I cooked for them what they wanted. It didn't bother me. Because I cooked it didn't mean I had to eat it. The protein I cooked was for everybody. If I wanted a vegetable, which I am more keto than, very meat heavy, but if I want a salad or if I want vegetables, I'm going to eat them. So, I did all the grocery shopping. They would give me money for groceries and they told me what they wanted. I'd have chips in the house. And I mean, I loved them, but I didn't eat them. And I know not everybody can do that. You know, not everybody can have that stuff in the house and just ignore it. But by the time I had decided to start keto, I had my mindset in the right place, and the determination was there to just do it. So I stayed 20 total carbs or less per day for the first 90 days before I introduced any baked goods that I made myself with the sweeteners. But the one thing I never gave up is my Diet Pepsi. And I still haven't. I've cut down, but I still have not given it up. In 22 months of not exercising, not even going for walks, I lost 100 pounds sitting on my butt, literally. And, you know, previous to starting keto in 2014, I had my right knee replaced. In 2017, I had my left knee replaced and it got infected. So within 2 months time after that, I had 2 more surgeries on that same knee because I had a spot that wouldn't close up. I was on a wound vac. I was on IV antibiotics for 6 weeks, 8 months of oral antibiotics after that. And finally, this spot started healing. And thank goodness, because then I could get back to physical therapy and get my knee where it needed to be. And thank goodness that everything's good now, because, you know, I'm bowling, so it's got to be good. But yeah, so I've pretty much maintained that 100-pound loss. I would like to lose some more. I had gotten down to 165 at one point, and I have put some of that back on. But I tell everybody, I am so much healthier. After 50 years of being on blood pressure medications, I don't have to take them anymore. My last visit at the doctor's office, my blood pressure was 116/80. You know, I've never saw numbers like that, even as a teenager. And, you know, I must like my doctor because I wasn't stressed out to have high numbers at the office either. But yeah, it's good. When I get my blood work back, my doctor tells me, your blood work is better than mine. I just think, what does that tell you? Maybe you should change things for yourself. But she's cool, and I really like her. But it helps. It you know, a couple weeks after I started, Brian decided he was going to come on board with me. And as you all know, most of you do, Brian is a type 1 diabetic. So when they say to find your why, he's it for me. His A1C when we first met 21 years ago was 17. And that was crazy. His A1C when we left New Hampshire in 2021 was 7.9. It has been pretty steady at 6.4 as a type 1. And we'll take that any day, any day. So yeah, he keeps me going more than anything. So yeah. But
It's helpful to have someone, you know, the person that you're living with go on this journey with you, I find too.
it does help. It wasn't a necessary thing for me. Because like I said, when I started, I was in a household of people that weren't doing it. You know, even now, there's times I challenge myself, and Brian doesn't do it with me. We eat so differently then. You know, it's all keto. But if I do an egg fast, there's no way on God's green earth that he's going to do just eggs for a period of time. It's just not going to happen. Or like when I do beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, he's like, nope, not doing it. He likes seafood. He likes chicken. He likes his broccoli, you know, and it's all good. You know, I'll just cook for him. So yeah, it just works. But you know, and I like I said before, I get it when people say they can't have things in the house. I feel blessed that I was able to do that, even during beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And most of you know, Chalk Zero was a nemesis for me. I love that stuff. And I have not, other than, I can't say I haven't had any. I haven't had any of the chocolate squares. I haven't had any of that kind of thing. I still have some of the chocolate chips from Chalk Zero that I'll use occasionally. But once they're gone, I mean, I get emails and text messages constantly from them that I just delete. I haven't even opened them. So, you know, that's a huge, huge win for me. But when I was doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, I have a glass container of had Chalk Zero chocolates and cookies and all kinds of stuff in there. And I walk by it every day. I did not even open it. I was okay. When your determination sets in and you got your mind on doing something, you know, if you can't do that, then you know there's a problem. You know, I have no problem walking by there. I have no problem walking by the candy in the store or the chip aisle. As much as I love that stuff, I don't need it, and I really don't want it. You know, so it's getting past all that was a big win. You know,
For sure.
but it's been. Now, I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because there are times I will get something totally off plan, and then I just get right back on track because it's not worth it for me. In 2007, I had gastric bypass surgery. A couple years after that, I started getting hypoglycemic episodes. That was a result of that surgery. And it was horrible. And what I had figured out after doing a lot of research myself, and I spoke with my doctor, who was back then very supportive of what I was doing. I said, I think I have hyperinsulinemic hypoglycemia. And he had never heard of it. He got his computer out right there in the office when I was sitting there and looked it up the same way I did. And what I had found, and he found the same, was a blog of post-gastric bypass patients who are now suffering these hypoglycemic episodes, these low blood sugar episodes. I remember my son coming over to see me one day, and he gave me a kiss on the forehead. He said, "Mom, you are sweating profusely." Well, I had since bought myself a meter to keep check on my blood sugar. I was never diabetic. My highest A1C was 5.8. Within 3 months, it was down to normal at 5.4. It's been as low as 5.1. So it's never been a problem. But when he went and got the meter for me, and I checked it, and I was at 47. That's scary. That is really scary because it's crazy low. You get real sweaty, get spots in front of your eyes, like, you know, it's not good. So what I had figured out, if back then, and this was pre-keto, like many years pre-keto, if I was going to eat any carbs, I had to eat enough protein to offset those carbs. And then I wouldn't suffer the hypoglycemic episodes. But it was too many carbs that would knock my blood sugars down. My pancreas would have to kick out so much insulin to offset those carbs that it would tank my blood sugars. It was crazy. But in that blog, I found that people had suffered brain damage. Some people have had to have lost their pancreas because of it. There's so many really horrible things. And I actually did a story about that on my channel, and I linked a blog that I had found. It's not the same one, but it's very similar. It's in the description of that video, and it is horrifying. I would tell anybody, do not, if you at all help it, don't have surgery. Don't have bariatric surgery, because mine is not reversible. If I had gotten a lap band, they could take it out. That would have been, but this one was really invasive. And at the time I had it, I was trying to run away from heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. It was all in my family. And I'm like, I didn't know any other way. Because I tried everything over the years, all the Weight Watchers, diet workshop. I mean, you name it, I tried it. It was everything. You'd lose weight and then you'd gain more. And it was a constant roller coaster. And everybody in here that's done this knows all that. But it was like, so when I got on keto and started losing this weight and started feeling, not that I felt, like I said, I wasn't feeling bad, but I felt different. I had more energy than I had. And when I'm reading this question, when you start feeling better and you get the energy, that's when you feel like doing things. Prior to that, I wasn't going to get up and go for a walk because I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. But when that energy kicks in, you want to. You want to get out there and do something because now, hey, so many things change for you within your body by eating this way. It's incredible. It's crazy. And that's my story.
Okay, I'm going to say hi. I'm going to say hi to a couple people that hopped in. We have Lisa, Thomas Target Prime Rib, Lori, Josephine, and Dustin Keto Simple is here. And I think I saw Joe. Joe just arrived, so thank you. And we have a question here for you. When does bowling start up?
It started this past week. I was telling Amy backstage this week, I bowled Tuesday, live stream Wednesday, bowled Thursday, live stream Friday. Did absolutely nothing yesterday. I was tired. But yeah, it started. So 2 days a week, and that's it. Not bowling 3 this year.
I have another question for you. So the bariatric surgery, before the surgery, do they counsel you on, diet, nutrition, and do they counsel you after that diet and nutrition? Do they provide support? And what was it? What did they counsel you?
Well, before you have surgery like that, you have to go through all these support meetings, and they tell you how you should eat after. And you have to lose like a percentage of your weight prior to surgery, which that was an easy thing for me. So, because I was determined, again, the determination was there because I wanted the surgery. But real quick, I just want to say, Brian has been behind me no matter what decisions I make. When I talked to him about having surgery, and we had only been together, I had it in 2007, and we got married in 2004. So just a few years. And I talked to him about it. He said, you don't have to do that for me. He said, I love you the way you are. And I said, but I don't love myself, and I need to do something for me. However stupid of a mistake that was in hindsight. So anyway, in the support meetings, they tell you that you're not going to be able to eat white potatoes, but eat sweet potatoes. Don't eat the white rice, eat the brown rice. Don't eat white breads, but you can have the dark breads. All the stuff that we know now is all carby stuff. So it really didn't matter. I lost 90 pounds quick, but then it stopped. I never did get under 200. And then it started going back up slowly over the years to where like I said, I got back to almost 300 pounds. And it was like, and I ate everything the way they said, but my sweet tooth kicks in, and my husband would go to the store, or my son would go to the store. Mom, do you want anything? I said, dark chocolate, because that was my thing. More than anything else, dark chocolate. And now remember, I'm recuperating from knee surgeries. I had gotten to a point where the doctor immobilized my leg because the infections. I couldn't go to even physical therapy. I couldn't do anything. So, it was like, okay, now what? After my surgeries, I found out I have primary and secondary lymphedema in both of my legs. Primary is congenital. The secondary is due to the surgeries and the infections. I don't think could have been prevented had I started keto beforehand, because my knees were bad. They were bone on bone, full of arthritis, and there was nothing. In fact, one day before I had my first knee done, most people's knees, they bend a certain way. Well, mine decided to bend backward. I was standing there and my leg just bent the opposite direction. And man, I screamed, and Brian's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Nope, nope." It was, I got it. I obviously jerked it back where it's supposed to be. And that's when the orthopedic surgeon, she said, "Oh, because my left one had been way worse than my right one for a long time." She said, "The right one has escalated so much. We're doing that one first." And I'm like, okay. So, but that was probably more pain than the surgeries. Not more than the physical therapy after the surgeries, but more than the surgeries. But it's like, it's all good. Now, prior to keto, I had a real bad arthritis in my back, which is why I quit bowling when I was in my 40s. And 20 some years later, I am back to bowling, back to averaging 170. And I've been back for 2 years. So, losing the weight, it helped get rid of the blood pressure medicine. It got rid of the arthritis in my back. My knees had already been taken care of. There was nothing I could do about that. My A1C is great. My blood work is great. The only thing I have is a very, very extremely high CAC score.
I was going to ask you about that. So let's go into that. Let's go into that story.
Well, after listening to Dr. Barry over and over again say everybody should know your CAC score, your cardiac artery calcium score. And I would talk to Brian and I talked to my sister Deb, and I'm like, I'm just going to tell the doctor, because they were sending me to a cardiologist, which is another story. He's a jerk. But I told him I wanted a CAC test done, where he also ordered, along with it, an aortic calcium score. I don't talk too much about that one, but it was high also. I got my results back. I had the test done in June of 22 for the first time. And I had lost 100 pounds at that point, pretty close to it. And I went in, had the test done, get the results in the mail. My CAC was 5,552. My aortic calcium score was 1,856. In my eyes, the only thing I can put that on is all the years of battling blood pressure issues. And that's because granted, I ate differently, we called that sad diet, but I was never sick. I had run a retail store from 2004 until 2016 when they sold it. And I had a guy come in, this older gentleman, one of the customers, and he said, I had a real bad sinus infection. And he told me, he said, I used to get those all the time. He said, and then I started taking vitamin C on a regular basis, and I don't get them anymore. And I'm telling you, I followed that religiously with vitamin C. And I have not had another one since. And I can't claim that's keto, because this was way before. So, it's like, I do take vitamins because after gastric bypass, the other thing they tell you is you're going to have to supplement with vitamins for the rest of your life because your body cannot absorb the vitamins from your food. Remember, to do a gastric bypass, they cut off a big portion of your stomach and staple it. You know, in the beginning, you're left with a little pouch, which you can't fit much in.
There's no undoing that then, right? There's no undoing that. There's no reversal surgery for that, is there?
There's no reversal. You can't undo it. That pouch stretches over time. But, you know, thankfully, well, I had an endoscopy a couple years ago, and they double checked to make sure everything was still kosher with the gastric bypass, which it was. Everything was still good. So they told me then that I'd probably have to have my gallbladder taken out at some point. Well, this is 18 years later, and I still haven't had to have it taken out. I do go for that ultrasound the end of September for my stomach to see what's up, but you know, it's all right. And no, Peter, dark chocolate is not the devil. No. And yes, Lisa, I agree with you.
Yep. She says she never wished she had gastric bypass.
I'm the same way. After all the repercussions after, you know, I wish I never had. But at the time, that was my only option, or so I felt. And, you know, it worked until it didn't. My husband, Brian, his A1C was 17 when we met. I just saw a thing go back there. One of the comments you had just passed.
Yep. Brian, are you saying A1C of 25 is only a sugar of 161? Is that it?
Are you saying an A1C of 25? What? No. An A1C of 25 is, your A1C is a 3-month score of your overall blood sugars for a 3-month period of time. I don't think he lingered at 161. If this man would eat pizza, his blood sugars would go up to 500. If he ate Chinese food, his blood sugars would go up to 500. We have not had a Chinese food in 5 years. It's not worth it for him. The only pizza we've had, other than what I've made with like egg white crust or fathead dough crust or something, is the pizza at the bowling alley, because they'll have parties every once in a while for the leagues. And the crust is so paper thin that it doesn't affect his blood sugars. It's so thin. So, I mean, we might eat a slice or two of it, and they're real small slices. And it's rare. But yeah, I don't know where this came from, Thomas, but I don't know how that calculated. But 161, no. To have an A1C of 25, holy mackerel.
And I want to address this comment right here. Peter says he can't watch the keto channels anymore because they're eating keto pizza, bread, and ice cream, etc. And I get that, Peter, for you, if that's triggering and you can't watch it. Just so you know, I'm probably still going to be making keto recipes here because I was keto for 7 years successfully. And I don't think that I could have just gone.
You've got to get to the point where you get over all those triggers and all that kind of thing. Because I don't know how long you've been carnivore, Peter, or if you even were keto beforehand, but I would never have been successful if I had felt this way. I would never have been, especially cooking for my son and his kids. And, you know, and Brian, before he started with me, I was making mashed potatoes and having chips in the house. And I mean, regular ice cream and bread. And I love bread. You'll see in my videos, we're doing the hero bread every once in a while. And I'm all right with that. You know?
Well, and here's a point too. I'm going to school for coaching, right? And I'm going to be a coach for the entire spectrum, not just the
Mhm.
carnivores. So if there's something that's going to help someone, and Peter, I'm pretty sure you started out like low carb and then keto and then carnivore. If there's something that I can make or demonstrate that's going to get somebody into this community, I'm all for it. Just because I'm at a point now where I'm not eating it doesn't mean that I'm not going to maybe make that on my channel, because that might be the thing that gets someone, oh, I can have, lasagna on keto. Oh, I can have bread on, that might be that might be the way to get person into this community. So I hope you continue watching my channel if I still make things that are less carnivore. I know Chris Cook in Nashville does that too. He makes both keto and carnivore
Yeah.
items because he's trying to support the entire community. And that's where I'm at. I want to be a coach and a YouTube channel for the entire community, no matter where you're at in the spectrum. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's, you might not be able to watch it, but I want to make sure that everyone is included.
Mhm.
And, and my channel is a channel for the entire community. So
Right. Right. I
that was a
mean,
good point. That actually went
on my live streams, we talk about food all the time. I had a guy come in there one Wednesday and he said, "This room is full of a bunch of addicts. I got to go." And I felt like saying, "Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out." I don't need that in my chats. I don't. That's a bunch of negative and calling people names. That was wrong. Obviously, we're all in the same boat. We were all sugar addicts. We were all messed up on food, which is what got us to be not so healthy and everything else.
well,
I have a real problem with all of that.
what did that viewer say in your live stream about this is just a bunch of addicts?
That's what he said. He said,
Do you
"There's a
remember?
bunch of addicts in here. I can't stay."
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're addicts. I mean, it's like an alcoholic. You never, if you're an alcoholic, you're a recovering or recovered alcoholic, but you're still an alcoholic even when you're not using it anymore. So yeah, we're all a bunch of addicts hanging out with each other. I mean, no matter where we're at on the spectrum.
Yeah. And Dustin, I totally, totally, wholeheartedly agree with you on this statement. Don't agree with you on
Oh yeah,
everything, but
let me go back to
that
that. Go
that
ahead. I'll
was
let you read it, Cindy.
he said, "Peter, I support all those trying to better themselves any way they can. Don't I don't expect everyone to want to be
Everyone.
or be and to go fully carnivore. No, I mean, that's something I would never do. And I know it. Keto chow is in my life, and I don't care who doesn't like it. It's like, no, it wasn't you that said that. It wasn't Thomas. It wasn't Peter. I'm just saying somebody did, and it was uncalled for. Wish somebody would have tried to talk me out of
Mhm.
it. Yeah,
The gastric
I,
bypass, yeah.
same, Lisa, same. But people tried. They really did. My sisters, you know, it, they all tried. And like
Well,
I said, my
yeah,
dad died when he was 56 years old of a massive coronary. My mom died right after turning 74 of a heart attack. So, when you're faced with all that, they both were either diabetic or borderline diabetic. They both had high blood pressure. I know my mom did. I'm not sure about my dad. He was so young anyway. Um, there's a lot, and when you're facing that, it's like you make the best decision you can for yourself at that moment in time. Had I wish I had not done it? Heck yeah. Hell, hell yeah.
hell yeah. Hell yes.
So yeah, it's crazy. But in those support meetings, they don't talk about the possibility of hypoglycemia if you eat any carbs, because they're telling you to eat carbs just to change them around. And it's like, God,
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, and
the knees were bad, but I was good.
Joe says, yeah, Joe says, oh my goodness, and no wonder you've been struggling with the knees and we're in so much distress. Yeah.
Yeah, when that one bent backward, that was enough for me. Yeah,
And
more like at
Peter
600
says,
some.
yeah, Peter says I started as dirty keto, went clean keto, then ketovore, and now carnivore. I think whole foods keto is great for many folks, and it is. It
Mhm.
is. And everyone has to, pick on their, spectrum. Maybe dirty keto is the gateway into this, and if it is, I didn't eliminate seed oils when I first started because I didn't even know seed oils were bad until I saw my first YouTube video on it. So,
See, I got rid of all that.
sure,
But
me too.
now I can't even say I'm clean keto, having the hero breads, occasionally a keto bread from the grocery store. I look at the ingredients. I know they have wheat stuff in them. But if it doesn't bother me, who is to tell me that I shouldn't be eating it?
Well, and everybody's definition is different too. My definition is as long as I'm making it with ingredients that are clean. And to me, I would make my own bread. I made a lot of recipes with almond flour. In the carnivore community, almond flour is considered to be, an oxalate and that
Taboo.
it's taboo. Well, to me, I was making my own breads, my own with
Mhm.
whole ingredient, clean almond flour. So, yeah, was I eating oxalates? Yeah, I was having vegetables too, broccoli and whatnot. But if that's still a whole food,
Mhm.
and as long as they're not putting a bunch of crap in the almond flour, that was to me, a clean ingredient. Now, some people would consider that, if it makes you sick, you shouldn't eat it. It wasn't making me sick
Well, I'm going to tell you,
until I,
first of all, bacon is processed food. Unless you get uncured
there,
bacon, bacon is a processed food. Keto chow is a processed food. It has a ton of ingredients. A lot of them are vitamins, but it's still a ton. It's not a one ingredient thing.
yep,
And it's great for anybody. In fact, it helped their son who had epilepsy. If you ever
yep.
listen to Chris and Miriam's story, you would understand that. Their son was having seizures that he doesn't have anymore. When they came up with keto chow, when it was and their son started drinking it, the shakes, he quit having the seizures. It was like
True.
none of the medications, from my understanding, were working. And so, yeah, 670 sounds absolutely correct for an A1C of 25, but not 161,
Crazy.
because that would have been nuts.
That is so high.
Mhm.
Oh, Charlie says, I think I have the same rebounder as Cindy that's behind her. Do you use your rebounder a lot?
Who, me or Charlie?
You, Cindy.
Actually, I just got it not too awfully long ago. And I just did a video because the company reached out to me and sent it to me. I couldn't even do an unboxing because while I was out with my sister, Brian unboxed it, put it together, and everything else by the time I got home. So I just put up a short about it the other day. But no, I haven't gotten on it much because, you know, motivation has to be there. It took me forever to put a video up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So Evelyn says she just did a video on the rebounder.
A B-can, exactly.
You,
That's the brand it is.
you know you've
And
made
it's
it when
48
people start
inches.
sending
This
you things.
thing is big. Brian got on it with me in the video.
Yeah,
It's big
I
and
got. I have not seen that.
it will hold up to 500 pounds. This trampoline. The one that I did have, I actually sold it to Evelyn when her and Carl were here. It was out in the garage because he had already put this one together. She says, I want to get one of those. I said, well, here you go. So yeah, but that one was smaller. And this was like, this thing is big. Get him to join in on these lives. He really needs the community
Well,
to help keep him straight. I'm
so
not sure who he's talking about.
Sean's buddy had asked him about gastric bariatric surgery, essentially, and Sean told him I wouldn't do it. I would not do it, and so that's who he's talking about, trying to get him to join on these lives. And I agree, Sean. This community, whether you're keto, you're carnivore, you're somewhere in between, um, if you can get him in here, we will support him. It's a great
Sean, send
community.
him.
Oh, Lewis is here.
Sean, send him my video about my gastric bypass story. Because if that doesn't scare the crap out of somebody, I don't know what will. The night of my surgery,
Well, and
I had the surgery on a Monday. Typically, people were going home by Wednesday. Tuesday night, and I'm sorry if this grosses anybody out, I lost a considerable amount of blood, and it was black. They said black blood is old blood that needed to come out. And I wound up having to get 4 units of blood that night because I lost so much. I was so out of it. Brian was sitting there with me, and I told him, I said, go home. I need to sleep. And I felt like I needed to be awake for him. And I sent him home. I said, I can't, because I was completely out of it. Yeah. Yep, that's it. The rebounder.
Lewis is here. I've seen, let's see, Aaron Booby Goats is here. Jerry, my good friend Jerry, who I'm interviewing next, will be
Hello, Jerry.
Jerry, Carnivore Jerry, in the middle for us.
Yeah.
Um, Here's the dark chocolate is the devil.
No, that's why I
And
said that. I saw that. Peter, I agree, but we got to meet people
and
where they are. People have to be fully
yeah,
ready to make those changes. It takes time. If they make the changes. It's like keto worked for me. I did not even think about doing anything else. I've done challenges for myself and successfully, whether it's beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, which is other than lion, that is the most extreme carnivore you can get.
right.
And it was fine. But if it's not something I would want to do on a regular basis. But that's just me. Aaron is special.
Well, and here's the problem. I've seen people on all ends of the spectrum, whether they're low carb, they're keto, they're ketovore. I've seen a lot of carnivores not be able to stick to carnivore. I've seen it happen on all ends of the spectrum. And so people need to find where they can be successful,
Huh?
because there's carnivores falling off all the time. They're not falling off to keto. They're falling off to the SAD diet.
Right.
So
And
they're
you
like,
know why? Because they make it harder than it is. If they just find out what works for them and keep it simple,
mhm,
that way it's sustainable. Because otherwise it's not. And it's like if you read too much into it and you work, it's like it's not going to be sustainable. It's. I have a question for
what's
Holly.
what's
And
the
I start,
hunter's diet? Oh, I saw a question too. Hold on, but I want to know what the hunter's diet is, Holly. Oh wait, we'll get to the question. But Papa says I've never bowled more than 140.
That means I could kick your butt.
Ooh, showdown between Peter and Cindy. Let's do it. You might have to go to Florida though, Cindy, and you'll have to take your bowling ball with you, I guess.
I wouldn't bowl with an alley ball, that's for sure. Love for bowling can be a pinned
Uh,
demonium of excitement.
oh,
Wish I still had.
Paul's here.
Hi,
Hi,
Paul.
Paul.
My phone is on the charger, Paul, just FYI.
Oh, and
My,
see,
my
Lisa
watch
says I
has
love to
been
watch the
going
keto.
with different people. It's like, I love to watch
I
keto
love to
channels
watch the
and the
keto
foods they make.
channels. Yep,
Yep,
and the foods they make, food porn. And
absolutely.
please don't judge me if I continue to make keto food on here because I will do it all. Okay, I will do keto food. I will do carnivore food, even though whether I'm carnivore or keto or whatever I decide to be, because I think we need to support the entire community.
Yeah.
Uh, Evelyn says, while y'all talk about chocolate being the devil, while I'm over here making chaffles, not going to tell you what flavors.
Do tell. It's got to be chocolate.
Chocolate?
Do tell, Evelyn. Inquiring minds want to know. So Holly put a comment up about the black blood.
I'm trying to find. Oh, Evelyn. Evelyn asked where my dad's at. I don't know, Evelyn. My dad just sent me a text a little while ago. I know you're getting ready for your live. Yeah, Lisa said to Peter, you have to do what helps you. He's also asking what new foods Lori did that didn't work. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find this question. Oh,
It was more a comment that I was looking for than a question. It was a, let me see. I can scroll this up.
it was Holly's question, right?
It was a statement at 7:49.
I can't see times in here. Oh, yeah, I can. 7:39. Okay, hold on. We're gonna say hi to CB Carmack.
Sure.
I'm
Hello,
only at
Stevie.
7:39. Let me see if I can find this.
Here, I'll just back it up and read it. She
Okay,
says, Cindy,
why don't you do that?
is,
Because I have another question after that.
all right. She says, Cindy, black blood is digested blood. That's how docs know if a GI bleed is higher or lower in the GI tract. I don't know about digested blood. I'm not sure what you mean by that. And Jerry, BBB&E was fun last time we did it, Cindy. Yeah, I was the BBBE police. Okay, I'm done playing around in the chat.
Joe says, Cindy, how was the brisket that your husband was cooking up earlier?
It looks good. It's out of the smoker. We haven't eaten it yet. It just came off the smoker a little bit ago. But yeah, it looks great. Smells great.
And Paul has a good point here too. When we get right down to it, ground beef is a processed food. Not like we're going out into a field and taking a bite off a cow.
That's right. I mean, the people that get so down to, oh, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat this. If you really take a long, hard look at what you are eating, there is going to be some processed food in there. I don't care how much you try to avoid it. I ended up getting sick from every food I was eating, so I figured, what the heck, I'll try this carnivore thing, and as long as I stay strict, I feel fantastic. That's great, yep. Lori.
Oh, tell the story of how we met, Cindy.
How what?
How you and I met.
Oh, well, Amy showed up at Keto Palooza 2024, considering they didn't have one this year. Darn it. And she was up on Sundays. They let people share their story and what they thought about the weekend and all that. And Amy got up there to tell hers. And my sister looked at me. She said, you got to get her on your channel. So Amy went back to her table And I had to use the bathroom so bad. I went and grabbed Amy. I said, "Come with me." And I
We went
talked
to
to
the
her about
bathroom.
coming on my channel to tell her story. But we talked about it when we were in the bathroom because, when you got to go, you got to go. That's all there is to
So
it.
she yanked me and said, "Let's go into the bathroom." I'm like, okay.
I said, "Come on, I got to pee." And she had never met me.
Brooke,
She had no idea who I was. It was pretty funny.
it was funny. Brooke Bobonically Blessed is here. Welcome. And uh, she asked, how is the keto diet and low carb diet different? Do you want to answer this, Cindy? 'Cause you know
I
the
have no
answer.
idea how it's different. I don't think it is
Okay.
because keto is very
Well,
low carb, high fat, moderate
right.
protein. And what is different about low carb? Maybe they're limiting the fat also. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
I honestly
Dr.
don't know.
Barry describes Dr. Barry describes like low carb as like 200 grams of carbs or lower, maybe 100 grams of carbs. Keto is anything really under 50, preferably
So
20 grams
that
of
that
carbs.
that
Total carbs, not
right.
net.
It's total carbs. It
And
depends with keto. It depends on where you are in your journey. When you first
right.
start out, and if you read Dr. Westman's book, End Your Carb Confusion, the first stage of keto is 20 total carbs or less per day. Then the next phase is going to 50 total carbs or less. Once you have gotten metabolically healthy, you've gotten past the insulin resistance with strict keto, then you can reincorporate some of those carbs. And then you can go up to 100 total carbs a day. Once you've gotten to your goal weight, you're metabolically healthy. Yes. And that's his book is phenomenal. For those that don't know it, you should get it because that explains everything.
Aaron Booby Goats is here.
Hey,
Hi, Aaron. She got me to say the word booby on air. I
I
probably shouldn't say that because it's keto chow. I don't know. Is that one of the offending words when you're a sponsor?
this is why I'm careful about all that. She is, if y'all don't follow Erin, I don't know why not. She is a hoot.
Just don't watch it when you're trying to go to sleep. There's a lot of action, a lot of noises, a lot of things going
A
on.
lot
If
of
you want to be
kids.
alert, awake,
A lot of
yeah.
kids.
Aaron has
Kim
10 kids.
Kim wants to know my whole story about gastric bypass. Amy, I know you have the ability to put a link in there, or I would
Yes,
imagine.
yes. Let me find the video. Um, uh, Evelyn can too. Evelyn,
There
can
you
you
go.
find Cindy's video?
It was uh it was crazy.
You can post too because you're a moderator, Cindy.
I can't
But
even
you're
put a
talking,
comment
so.
in here. I'm serious. I can't even put a comment in here.
But if
Evelyn is
you open,
cooking.
well,
That's horrendous. There's
okay, hold on. I'll
what?
find it. Let me ask you.
Sorry.
Let me ask
Kim
you
had
another
asked about
question, and
it. Ask away.
let me ask. Okay, so what is the most interesting thing you have ever eaten?
The most interesting thing I've ever eaten?
Yes.
Well, I don't veer craziness, It's like everybody knows sardines is not happening.
I was going to bring that up, but since
I
you
don't
went
eat
there,
crazy food. My eating is so almost the same. When I mix lately, I've been doing a really high protein shake every once in a while with a scoop of keto chow, a scoop of equip, a scoop of collagen, and water. That's it. No added fat, just and then ice in a blender. And it's ridiculously good and packed full of protein. But yeah, weird foods, no. Strange foods, I can't say I have. You know,
Neither.
I know I'm a creature of habit. I will eat what I know I like. I'm not going to venture out, and it's all good.
I just posted Cindy's. Oh, let me redo it with the. I just found the link. Have you ever had escargot, Rocky Mountain oysters?
No, no snails, no oysters, no
Oh, they're
sardines.
so good. What about what's the fish
I can,
roe? Have you
nope, no caviar, nope, nope,
caviar? Caviar is delicious.
bleh, nope, nope, nope. Definitely no sardine ice cream that some people have eaten.
Yummy. Oh, here it was. Cindy's black blood is digested blood.
As she explained it further, is somewhere down the line. Radish with cow tongue is like Cindy's with sardines. Yeah, you.
What is your absolute favorite meal that you like?
Steak and eggs, hands down. It,
What kind of steak?
my favorite is New York strip, but I like ribeye. Um, yeah, just about any. I've always been loved meat. When I was young, and we had to have potatoes and we had to have vegetables and we had meat on our plate, I would eat everything else and save that meat for last because that was my favorite. Now, obviously, the meat takes up the bigger portion of my plate if there's even anything else on it. And it don't matter. It can be ground beef. I've made meatloaf with beef, bison, and lamb all mixed together, and that is amazing. Ground beef, ground
Wow.
bison, and ground lamb.
I need to find this. I think my brother's here. I'm not sure, but I think this might be my brother. AJD is my brother's initial.
Amazing journey.
And that's him. Hi, Andy. Thank you for joining in.
Hello.
Appreciate that. And
Hello,
he's
hello.
proud of you too, Cindy. He's
I
proud
don't
of you
even know
too.
him, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, who's this? This person's
Mhm.
never been in my live stream before, and I recognize
No,
the initials.
Evelyn. Evelyn said no
Oh,
Hajis or Japanese blowfish. Nope, nope, nope. Let's see. Thanks for Cindy's link. I subscribed to her channel.
heading back
Thank
to
you,
the link.
Kim.
Terry had fun when you guys did beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, and I wouldn't
Mhm.
refuse to do it. And then the next month I went carnivore, so I should have done it with you guys, but I was a whim.
I tell you, I told you they called me the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs police. We did 2 videos at the beginning of right before we started, and then at the end to give our progress for that 30-day period. Well, on the very first video, Andy, Mission Carnivore, said he had pork chops. I said, dude, that is not beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's no part of it. Pork belly is because it's bacon. Pork chops is a stretch. So I was messing with them, and they called me the
The police.
BB&E police. And we
Yeah.
had a blast with it too. It was fun.
Yep. Keep it simple, stupid is the answer to a way of eating for anyone. I have to ask this question. If you were stranded on an island, what are the 3 things that you would have to have with you? Not people, but things.
Jeez. Keto chow. Because you can live off of that. Um, definitely keto chow. I'm not a materialistic person, so I wouldn't eat things. Clothes, obviously. And I don't know. I could use time away from my phone, that so it wouldn't be that. I I would have to say those because I really, and I thought about this because I hear you ask people this all the time. I have a son that's very materialistic. I am not. Things are just things. I really don't need them. So I would have to say those two. Keto chow to stay hydrated and fed, and clothes to wear, obviously.
And how much keto chow do you actually have, Cindy? There's rumors out there that, you know, you may be the person with the most keto chow.
Evelyn has seen my stash. Okay, I have a pantry that when we first bought the house was a utility closet with one shelf in it, and it's where the previous owners had kept their brooms and stuff. Well, I told my husband, I need this out of here, and I need shelves in this closet because I have a ton of keto chow. If they make it into big bags, I have it in the big bags. I have extras for the flavors that we like a lot. I have an extra big bag for when those are gone. Things that don't come in a big bag, I have one of the shoe things on my closet door that have them in alphabetical order, no less, because I'm a little anal that way. And I have a little cabinet that has 3 drawers of different packs, like baked potato, cream of mushroom, chocolate malt. I still have some peppermint. So yeah, I have a lot. A lot. I would say three and a half, no, 2.5 shelves are keto chow, and they're doubled up tall containers on each shelf. And then the other half of that shelf at the top, one half is savory flavors of keto chow, the other half is the flavors of Equip that I have. I have a lot. Absolutely.
Oh, and Holly says the weight loss doc wrote the book The Hunter versus the Farmer's Diet. Hunter was low carb and Farmer was low fat. So that explains that question.
Maybe.
If you could go back and tell younger Cindy, like what you know now, what would you tell younger Cindy, like your wisdom? Like what would you share with younger Cindy?
I would tell that person to get out of the house, go have a life, because I was always in the house. I had very few friends growing up. Um, and don't put the garbage in your mouth because you literally are what you eat. And that would be it. Get out, have a life, and eat smart. Yeah,
What was
that's part of my
yeah,
insecurity video. I really didn't have any friends growing up. I spent a lot of time to myself, a lot of time playing solitaire, and yeah.
uh what was an unexpected result you had of living this lifestyle? Like an unexpected benefit?
Getting rid of the blood pressure medicine, hands down. The Other than that, the arthritis in my back going away. Because other than those things, I really was pretty healthy. I
Oh
see.
wow, Kim appreciates life is here. I just got out of the hospital recently. I was in the ICU for 5 days. I had a bleeding ulcer in my stomach. I also had gastric bypass 23 years ago. I am on the mend now. I see my GI surgeon tomorrow. I'm so
I
sorry,
am
Kim.
so
Prayers
sorry,
for
Kim.
you.
Woo. Well, thank you for subbing to my channel, and definitely check out my story too. And if you want some time, I've had quite a few people come on my live stream on Fridays and tell their story, whether it's weight loss or bypass surgery stories. Get in touch with me. My email is in the description of my videos.
Yes, I think most
it
everyone
needs to
here
get
is
out.
subscribed to
Those
Cindy.
stories need to get out so badly, and it's not talked about enough until after the fact.
And Cindy's channel, I posted the link. It's pinned at the top. It's at Cindy Demanche 3839. Reach out to her. She is like the queen of the interviews. I'm just doing these a little bit at a time right now, especially as I'm in school. But please reach out to her and go on her channel. She's amazing.
This is really, I
Thank you
told
for.
Amy, this is really weird for me to be on this end of things.
I know.
But I'll tell you, the first interview I ever did was in 2022 with Dr. Sean Baker in Rivera. And I had not started my channel yet. It is in the playlist on my channel. I was a nervous wreck. I'm like, I said, I've talked to my sister at length. I said, man, and all I did, keto chow chocolate malt. Thank God not together. Those are the chaffles she's making. The chocolate malt is amazing. But anyway, I kept talking to my sister. I said, I had gone on one of Dr. Baker's Rivero videos, and I commented because he had somebody on there about the lymphatic system. And since I have lymphedema, it was so interesting to me. And then I left a comment about losing 100 pounds and da-da-da. Well, he just assumed that I was carnivore because nope, I wasn't. But anyway, I get an email the next day, Dr. Baker would like to interview you. And I about crap myself, it was like, what? So I called my sister. She said, that's so cool. I said, that's so crazy because now I'm a nervous wreck. So, yeah. So I got to read this. The longer blood from a bleed is in the GI tract, the more it's digested as it goes through large intestines. A bleed closer to the exit would be bright red. Gotcha. Yeah. That was frightening. I'm going to tell you. I have a real quick question for Holly. She had asked me Friday night how tall I was, and I just want to know why. That's all. Cindy, if you want to be a pure food, then they need to eat what they kill in the wild. Yeah. I'm not going to kill anything, but I will eat. I can eat. Holly, what is this hunter's diet?
She answered that
Sub to
question.
Cindy's channel. Cindy needs to know she got a praise from Mitch, old guy carnivore, after her kilt's appearance. Said it was eye-opening. I saw his whole talk the day that I was on with kilts. And some of it he did misquote me, but it was all good. That's why I asked you to share that video.
Yep. And Kim, I posted the link to the video in the chat. So you should be able to go to it from there.
She got it. Did the Dr. Berry classes start yet? That's for you. Vacation.
And Lewis is doing a 17 fast because he ate way too much on his vacation. Well, I hope you had a good vacation, Lewis. There's 40 people watching this. I don't even know.
Rick. Hey, Rick.
Wait, hey, Twin Brook Acres is here. Hey, Rick. Thanks for catching that, Cindy.
Oh, I am a comment snob. Keto is not just a diet, it's typically high fat, which converts to ketone bodies. Keto is also biochemistry process. Low carb just means you don't eat many carbs.
Right.
Thank you, CB.
Have you had any roadblocks or downsides to living this lifestyles? Any negatives that you found?
I'm really blessed because I have not. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I will eat something off plan and then check the carb count afterwards. But when I first started, I was very, very strict keto, 20 total or less. And most of the time it was less because it was meat, maybe some cheese, whether it was lunch meats or whatever we could afford, that's what we ate, what I ate. And I never got the keto flu. Going from sad to that overnight, it did not bother me at all. I was like, nope, I was really one of the lucky ones. It was an easy transition. And 5 years later, I've never looked back. I said there's times where I'll eat something I shouldn't, but it hasn't killed me. So I'm good. And Amy, you're frozen.
Yeah, I think I'm back. Let me turn my camera off and back on. Something happened here. That was weird. My computer just froze.
Yeah, your picture's still frozen. But yeah, well, move.
I'm still frozen.
You're frozen. But ask
Okay, hold on.
so many keto influencers are really tall, and I'm also 5'4", so I know an extra 200 pounds is more on us. You're right, Holly. I was just curious because it's like, woo. Erin is also 5'4". I'm just going to keep talking until she boots me out. Cindy struck me as being a tall lady until she told me she was a shorty. Hey, Jerry. Amy and I are Amazons, says Jerry. Amy left me stranded. What the heck? Sorry. It's not like I haven't done this before. Oh, Amy. Now we're all going to sing Free Bird. It's Brian's fault. Uh-oh. Hey, we got a third person here. Nope. So Cindy needs to get. I don't want to be stranded. I want to be free as a bird. Amy, I'm just going back and reading some of the chat. Wow. So you decide to end this because you are frozen. Do not buy plug rub butter ever. Their ingredients include natural flavors. What the hell? That's right. For those of you in the chat that do not know about this, what the hell? My group on Wednesday Night Live, I go live with my husband, and we are the Hail Raisers. And there's Amy. Look, let's welcome Amy to the chat. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Cindy is running her own interview. That's right. Can't hear you, Amy.
Okay, can you hear me right now? It's awful because I can hear myself.
Gary said, what the hell, Cindy? How'd you and Brian meet? I know it was a dating site, but what site and what was the first date? Whoa. We met. You still good, Amy? We've been at this for an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're
Okay.
there. So Sean wants to know how me and Brian met.
Is
There
that
was
like 3
a
hours?
site back in 2003. There was a site, one-to-one-match.com. We met online, obviously. I had sent him a tease And neither one of us had pictures up. I'm just going to say that. And I sent him a tease because I liked what his profile said. And then he subscribed to the thing so he could get my email address and email me. The only way I could get it is if I subscribed so we could exchange information. So we did that. We exchanged phone numbers and we immediately unsubscribed. I mean, it was like instantly. We talked every night for like hours. His daughter was 12 years old at the time. Her mother died when she was 10. And she would say, Dad, is that your girlfriend on the phone? And she was constant with all this stuff. We met face to face about 3 days later. We went to dinner. We went to this Italian restaurant in the town that I lived in Massachusetts at the time. And our waitress says, you guys, you must have known each other forever. I said, nope, we literally just met. And because we talked for hours. And then, we had met in a public place, because I've met some doozies. I've met several online prior to Brian. And there's some really stories out there for another day. Maybe we'll do that on Wednesday. We'll talk about those. But Brian was such a gentleman. He got out of he had a big safari, GMC safari van. He got out, came around, opened the door for me, let me in. And then
Whoa. Safari van? What do you mean safari?
A GMC Safari was the vehicle he had. Yeah. So we went to dinner, and I lived where we met was the next town over from where I lived. Where we ate was in the town that I lived. My son lived with me, my younger son, and he had a 2-month-old baby at the time. We went to my place, and the first thing Brian did was go pick up my granddaughter. And it was like, this guy is a keeper, because men do not typically pick up babies, right? So we had a great time, and Brian was leaving, and well, he had to drive me to my car. When he dropped me off at the car, he said, I will be back. It might be 2 weeks, because at the time he was working 6 days 1 week, 5 days the next week. And it was like constant like that. He said, it may be 2 weeks, but I will be back. The next day, I got an email that said, I'm not waiting 2 weeks to see you. He said, we're going to figure something out for this weekend, for the following weekend. So he came up, and we went to dinner again. We went to a seafood place. Now, a lot of people in the chat, I don't know how many actually know Brian, but this guy is little. He's never really had a lot of weight to lose. But we went to the seafood restaurant. They bring his plate out. It was like this, piled, platter. It wasn't a plate. It was a freaking platter. And I'm looking at him, and now I had some weight on me. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, there's no way on God's earth that you're going to eat all that food. He said, watch me. Every morsel, every little bit on that plate was gone. I said, how the heck did you do that? He said, I have 2 stomachs. You're crazy. We had another really nice dinner. And then our third date, I drove up to New Hampshire from Massachusetts. And he cooked me a steak dinner, served it by candlelight, and had a dozen long stem multicolored roses for me. It was just great. It was a great time. And he's just very special, We knew right away that it was going to work. From the moment we started talking, before we even met, we hadn't exchanged photographs. it doesn't matter. Looks do not matter. When it's like, people that are so hung up on what a lot of guys, especially, sorry about this, but when they're so hung up on the way what a girl looks like, instead of getting to know her. If he would have been like that, as overweight as I was, there's no way we would be together. Brian is a fantastic guy, and that's it. We've been married 21 years. We met 2003 in October. He proposed to me on a buggy ride in Pennsylvania in January of 2004. So 3 months later. And we got married the next month in his parents' living room in front of the fireplace with the justice of the peace. It was both of our third marriages. And, it's just great.
He's a great guy. I've met him.
He is. He is. I got to say, he is.
Lisa, Christ and carnivore is my cure. I have a relationship with cow tongue like Cindy's with sardines.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah, no. But yeah, it's fabulous ketones. Yeah, when I'm doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, my ketones will get up to 2 point something easy daily. It's like,
Do you ever do intermittent fasting or extended fasting?
every day intermittent fasting. We don't usually
What
eat
does
our
that
first
look
meal
like?
till about 1 or 2. Lately, it's been 2:30 or 3:30. And then I have done some extended fast. A 3-day fast is the longest. And, I feel great when I do it. However, whatever you lose then, once you start eating, you're just going to put it back on. So really, other than autophagy, no. And absolutely
so
no, Evelyn, neither one of
they're
those.
talking about haggis, which is sheep's intestine.
Ugh.
It's
I
a
didn't even know
Scottish
what it is,
food.
and nor did I need to know, because
It's
that's
Scottish.
just disgusting.
Here's a good comment. So
Thanks for
Kim
sending that.
subscribed to. Thank you, Kim. Kim, she had gastric bypass in 2002 when she was 36. Had serious complications. I've heard so
Where are
many
you
stories
from,
like
Kim?
that.
Cindy, when are you eating that smoked brisket? When I get off of here, Brian.
Rick had to stop eat beef due to expense. And I got to address this. Lori says, Andy and Amy, how cute. So all the people in my family are named with A's and J's. My parents are Jim and Johnette. The oldest daughter is Angela, then Andy, then John, then Janine, and then I'm Amy. So it's all A's and J's.
Yep. And I've met Janine. She came on live with you and my sister.
Yep. And here he is again. You found me. I think you found me.
Who's the oldest, Amy?
My sister Angela. She's 10 years older than me. And my parents had, my brothers are Irish twins, which means they're 11 months apart. And then I'm 10 years younger than my oldest sister. And then my sister Janine, who you've met, is 6 years older than me. But she had 4 kids in like 4 years.
There were 5 in our family. My oldest sister is 9 years older than me. Deb is 3 years older than me. And I have a sister 2 years younger than me. And our brother was the youngest. He was 5 years younger, but he passed away at the age of 49. He was the only boy. Can you sit in my chair in front of the computer and keep falling on the floor? Well, stop going to sleep at your computer. It's Crazy
Oh,
storms at the
read this
beginning of
one.
summer because she gave up keto chow for a month. Sean, you are so full of beans and apple butter.
So you're the reason a tree fell in my yard.
Nope, nope. You are just funny, Sean.
So another question.
Sure.
Either your family or your friends, has anyone treated you strange because of your diet? I know there was a lady at bowling, but do people like harass you?
Bowling people think I'm crazy, but my family has all been supportive all the way along. I wish they would follow suit. I have two sons that are 44 and 43. The oldest one is extremely not healthy, and the other one is not in the best shape either. I set the example. I can talk to them. I can't make them do it. So, yeah. And it's actually correct because pork chops are a lot more lean than pork belly. And that's what Dr. Berry explained why he stresses the perfect fat to protein ratio of bacon and beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Oh, I get it, honey. I'll let him have it.
Evelyn says type A Cindy.
I'm special. Let's see, Rick, pick up a channel sponsor and do a Bill Not Carry style commercial.
I would just like to see Rick make some money on his channel, even if it was just a few bucks.
He doesn't want to. He can turn on memberships. He chooses not to. Question, Amy.
I know.
Would my oldest three kids who are a year apart be Irish triplets?
What's this butter? Bluegrass butter? I've never heard of it.
I don't know. Something that Jerry found up there where Wisconsin.
Brian would take an airplane, fuel, and compass if he was on an island. Then he wouldn't be on the island anymore.
That's right. It would be peaceful on the island.
Okay, Jerry says, did the Dr. Berry classes start yet? They start on Labor Day, September 1st. They're having the first one at 7 p.m. So I will not be having a live on Labor Day either.
Well, that's a
Because
Monday.
yeah, that's a Monday. You're right.
Always. I can't believe they're doing it on a Monday. That's just dumb.
I mean,
I don't want to be stranded. I want to be free as a bird.
yeah.
Yep.
CB just subbed to Cindy's channel. Here's what you're reading. She needs to know she got a praise from old Mitch old guy carnivore after her Quilts appearance. He said it was eye-opening.
Oh yeah, and I saw that. There was some, you asked Brian Dish. There was some misquoting going on in there from what I had said on Kiltz's live to what Mitch had said, but it's all good.
Would you like to address that?
No, it's all good. It was crazy.
Holly asked your height because so many keto influencers are really tall. I'm also 5'4", so I know an extra 200 pounds is more than someone 6 feet. Yeah, and I'm tall,
Yeah.
so I could gain a lot of weight, and it wouldn't seem like it. But when you're shorter, it displays more. I think. Rick's still here. We've been talking about you, Rick.
So Rick, answer that question. Could you be monetized and you just haven't signed up for the partner program?
He could be.
And turned on memberships and turned on super chats and all that kind of thing, because you've been at this for a long time. And people would like to support you. So, don't forget to give a thumbs up.
He should at least turn on super chats so people can throw him a buck here or there. And
Super chat helped me out some. I didn't go on it often. but live streams will help you out.
Aaron's 5'4" too.
Yep, saw that. Y'all are just
Good one.
gargantuan. Y'all are just tall.
Cindy, you haven't entered in my Avenger contest.
You're right. Good. And I thought about it. But what the heck would I want to be?
The Keto Chow Queen.
That would work. Do it. Do it.
There might be some
Got all the
copyright issues with
technology.
that.
I'll get ChatGPT to work on that.
Yeah, don't do anything that's going to give me a copyright issue. I just got my affiliate with them.
They know I talk about them all the daggone time. So they expect me as being a tall lady till she told me she was a shorty. Yeah,
You're a
you know, I'm
shorty.
not short.
Yep. Jerry and I are Amazons. I think Jerry might be taller than me, even though.
Jerry is, like she says, 5'12".
I used to be 5'10", and I've shrunk, probably from all the surgery. So I'm only 5'9", so she is way taller than me. And here we are. What the hell?
What the hell? That's right. Perfect.
Amy, I thought you were just actually shocked at my comment. Oh, when my computer froze.
Karen, Miss Low Carb
Oh, it's
Spin.
very tall too. 5'11". Yep.
Keto Pow. That's the comic book sound effects.
I don't need to hear. She is capable of running her own interview. She will do it if I'm not here.
Uh-oh. Your sound's getting all wonky.
Is it wonky?
It was for a minute.
So Rick, in the middle of live stream Saturday, lost power, right?
Amy left me again. See that? CB, that's what she is. Keto Path.
That was weird.
Woo!
So Rick kept going, or I'm sorry, Rick's stream kept going, and everyone was chatting for an hour, and he wasn't even there.
Well, you know, you haven't been here, and I've been taking care of it. Sherry says, I'm 5'5", all legs, evidenced by a blue dress.
Yeah, Sherry has a really pretty blue dress picture.
Yeah. Lynn strikes me as a tall lady,
I got
too.
lost in the cyber world.
Lynn is about my height,
yeah,
Sherry. No sound. That was before. Yeah, I'm an Alabama redneck and use what the hell a lot. Well, you got to join us on Wednesday because
I think it's okay to say
what the hell. It's okay to say what the hell. It's better than other words. You are not kidding. As long as they don't change it.
You don't hear an echo, do you? Because I hear an echo since I got back on.
Sean says, Cindy superhero bowling woman. That doesn't have anything to do with keto, dude. What the heck? What the hell?
Yeah, Lynn, I lost an inch too. I want my inch back. It's your tall personality, then, Lynn.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, and Josephine says, "Lesson: never give up on love." That's right.
What'd she say?
Never give up on love. About Brian's love story.
Yep.
Low carb spin seemed tall to me too until they stood next to Kelly Hogan. Is Kelly Hogan tall?
You met them at Keto Palooza, didn't you, Amy?
Low carb? No, I didn't. Well, I don't. Maybe I met a lot of people, but I only remember the ones that were dragging me into the bathroom.
Karen and Therese. Karen, you can tell how tall you are.
I think I met them. I met
They
so
make
many
me feel
people.
tall. I'll just go say that. And CB,
When you said
this is
Safari,
funny.
man, is he
He's not.
working at the like, zoo?
Your sound is real wonky again, Amy. Keto
All right, hold
hailstorm.
on. Do this. I still hear an echo. It's so weird. Let me do this.
She could throw a bowling ball or bring a hailstorm. Just power once back, he couldn't end it. Said in his short.
Can you?
So CB, he's definitely not wild. Brian is a very emotional, sensitive person, and I just love him for it. He's great.
Sure.
Nope, he's not. You filthy animal. Brian
You
Kinney.
thought he was
Yep.
hot
What,
when he was
Amy?
eating all that plate of food.
Oh yeah. I know that. They were talking about the van and how I knew he was wild because he had a van. You're seeing it eye to eye level. So CB's tall too.
Lynn said, "Year ago, I met someone online, and our first meeting, we were in a restaurant talking for 8 hours. He was a talker, though. I ended up together for 5 years."
What happened? I love a love story. Yep. I was growing up, I had a stomach and 2 hollow legs since I could never keep on weight as a kid. And after I hurt my back in the Navy, I gained weight.
Mm-hmm.
Funny
I
Jerry, I
love
sent a
the guinea
message.
pig. I think Meathead was here.
Do what?
I want to skip forward and say hi to Meathead. I posted the pictures you requested. That might be Brian Fisherman Dish.
I don't know. But your sound is really off, Amy.
All right. So,
I guess that would make Lynn
I'm
feel
having
like a
issues
giant.
with this. I can't fix it. Cindy, is there anything closing to share about the journey?
You're welcome. I think that's what you said. Thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
Do you have any closing
AI is
thoughts?
taking over your voice. That's a good one, Brian.
So nobody can hear me, huh?
Oh, Amy, this is bad. Your sound is really bad, honey.
Now hold on, let me try something else here.
Can you hear me now?
The sound is really rough.
All right.
I say we thank everybody for joining us in the chat and call it a night.
Yep. Thank you,
Keto
everybody,
bowling
for
strike.
joining us.
What?
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you,
say
Amy.
goodnight. Sorry, everybody.
But thank you, Amy, for having me on. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us. And I'll pick up where Amy can't do it. This has been great. And Amy, thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it was fun. I'm going to go eat some brisket.